The world of the Bible continues to fascinate scholars and the general public. Numerous excavations going on in Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Egypt and other countries in the Middle East aim to help researchers better understand the stories written inside the book. Archaeologists view some parts of the Bible as a loose historical record, but there's no way to verify what is true and what is fiction. Here's a look at 5 biblical artifacts that fascinated our minds. Number 5. An actual piece of the true cross. Around the world, there are literally hundreds of pieces of wood said to have come from the cross that Jesus was supposedly crucified on. One example was found in 2013 during an archaeological excavation in Turkey. Relics of Jesus, particularly pieces of the cross, were particularly popular during the Middle Ages. The theologian John Calvin, who lived from 1509 to 1564, famously said that if all the supposed pieces of the true cross were gathered together, they could fill the cargo hold of an entire ship. Such pieces are still popular today. In 2017, Live Science reported on a business that sold relics on eBay. Several pieces supposedly from the true cross were on sale at prices of around $500, Live Science found at the time. At present, there is no supposed piece of the true cross that scholars agree is authentic, and it appears unlikely that one will ever be found, because it would have been made of wood and likely would have decomposed long ago. Even if a piece of the true cross did survive to present day, it would be hard for scholars to identify it. Number 4. The real burial shroud of Jesus. According to stories told in the Bible, a man named Joseph of Arimathea buried Jesus after his crucifixion. According to Gospel of Mark, then Joseph bought a linen cloth and taking down the body, wrapped it in the linen cloth and laid it in a tomb that had been hewn out of the rock. He then rolled a stone against the door of the tomb. There has been great interest in finding this burial shroud. A number of forgeries have appeared over the centuries, the most famous being the Shroud of Turin, which was created in the Middle Ages. It's not clear what happened to the actual burial shroud of Jesus. The Gospel of Luke says that after Jesus was buried, the Apostle Peter entered his tomb and bending over, he saw the strips of linen lying by themselves, and he went away, wondering to himself what had happened. Whatever happened to the real burial shroud of Jesus, it seems unlikely that it will ever be found. Number 3. Noah's Ark. A story told in the Hebrew Bible says that God flooded the entire world because humans were becoming too wicked. Before this happened, God told a man named Noah, whom God believed to be righteous, to build a massive ark made of cypress wood, and house within it Noah's wife and children, along with male and female pairs of every living creature. That way, the world could be repopulated after the flood. After the ark was built and the creatures placed inside it, according to the Hebrew Bible, the earth was flooded for 150 days, killing everything that moved on land. When the flood waters receded, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, the Hebrew Bible says. While Mount Ararat exists in eastern Turkey, in the area where the borders of Turkey, Armenia and Iran intersect, it is not clear if this is the mountains of Ararat referred to in the Hebrew Bible. Explorers have been searching for Noah's Ark for centuries but have never found it and likely never will. Many scholars regard the story as mythical and do not believe that Noah's Ark actually existed. Number 2. Ark of the Covenant. According to the Hebrew Bible, God commanded that Moses tell the Israelites to build the Ark of the Covenant and store within it tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments. The ark was made out of acacia wood and covered in gold. During the reign of King Solomon, sometime around 3,000 years ago, the first temple, the holiest place in Judaism, was constructed in Jerusalem. The Ark of the Covenant was kept within the temple until 587 BC, when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem, destroying much of the city, including the temple. It's not clear what happened to the Ark after that. Some stories say that it was hidden before the Babylonians reached the temple, with one legend claiming that the Ark shall not be revealed until the day of the coming of the Messiah, son of David. Another legend proposes that the Ark was taken to Ethiopia, where it now resides within the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. A scholar named Edward Dullendorf claimed that he managed to see this ark during World War II and that it is not the original Arkansas. Whatever happened to that original, it appears unlikely that it will be rediscovered. Number 1. Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, also called the Holy Chalice, is the cup Jesus supposedly used at the Last Supper, which he had with his disciples before he was crucified. According to the Bible, then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, the disciples, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." It's not clear what happened to the cup after the Last Supper. In fact, scholars are not certain if the Last Supper even occurred. In medieval literature, King Arthur and his knights embark on a quest to search for the Holy Grail, which is said in Arthurian stories to have magical properties. Another medieval legend suggests that Joseph of Arimathea, the man who took responsibility for burying Jesus, traveled to Britain and brought the Holy Grail with him. While these are popular and fascinating legends, scholars generally regard the stories as fictional. Scholars cannot even be certain whether the Last Supper actually occurred and if the Holy Grail ever existed. Even if the Holy Grail did exist, it's unlikely that it will ever be found.